Unbelievable! That is a dream goal!
They found it! They finally found the goal they were looking for!
What a finish that is! Do not scratch your eyes! This is really happening!
Hello everybody, welcome to Laurel Hill Park here in Secaucus. I'm Sam Lopresti for Game in Frame. APSL Metropolitan Conference action for you today, and maybe a small piece of history, although it's not entirely up to this match for that. Hoboken in third place in the Metropolitan Conference. They are 2 points ahead of the Pancyprians. More importantly, they are 12 points ahead of Doxa. Doxa play Richmond County later tonight, and if Hoboken win this game and Doxa fails to win their game, then Hoboken, for the first time, will claim a spot in the APSL Metropolitan Conference playoffs. New York International, solidly, I would say, in position to survive and avoid the relegation spots in their first season in the APSL. 9th place, they are 4 points ahead of Vistula in 10th. They are behind Nyack for 8th spot on head-to-head, both International and Nyack with big wins in relegation 6-pointers last week to really pull themselves clear. We'll have all of our action today in just a few minutes, so stay with us here on Game in Frame. Today's Game in Frame broadcast is sponsored by Umbro. You can head to umbroteam.com to start designing your team kit for free now. Produced by Umbro, designed and worn by you. Welcome back. Hoboken and New York International getting ready. This is a matchup that we've seen before, but it was Hoboken 2 that New York International have faced in the past, and not this club. Brian Paredes and Saad Afif are doing the final formalities there. Hoboken 2 and International followed each other from CSL Division 1 to from CSL Division 2 to CSL Division 1 last season. The International finished in second place in Division 1 last year and took the promotion spot after Polonia declined promotion. Looks like we're finally about ready. The oldest continuously operating football club in America against one of the youngest. Clocking in at less than a decade old, New York International, and they've already rocketed their way all the way up to this level. Off we go. Hoboken in the white with blue shorts, that's their change strip. International in all black with the gold trimmings. And immediately they start to move. Question will be whether they can hold back this incredibly potent Hoboken attack that at the moment does not have Mike Bello on the field. But the other half of the Terror Twins, Cam McGregor, very much is. McGregor, 13 goals now, and he is going to chase this ball down. Looking to find some space. Finally able to cross, and it's blocked. And that is pulled back into a dangerous area. Here's Sebastian Rojek. And that is Stefan Koroman, who's been called for holding back Christoph Kuttner. Kuttner has been in fine form the last few weeks. Gary Philpott now, a stalwart of this club that has that ran all 4 levels of the Cosmopolitan Soccer League in just 5 years to get to this point. Here's Ramshui Sonville, a dangerous player on the wing. Koroman to send it back in. He finds Sergio Kubel. Kubel into the middle, Philpott. There ahead of McGregor. And he'll punt that deep. And Kobe McGregor will flick that back upfield, and the ball mishandled there by Elliot Popkowitz. Kubel. Kubel trying to find that ball through the middle. Into the air. Freddie Adamenge. The striker, Kuttner, with the pressure on Paredes, who does a great job to get out of it. Popkowitz could not keep that in play. Some danger there for Hoboken. Ultimately, Paredes really kept that in control. But if Kuttner had dispossessed him there, then Shane Keenan in goal would have been pretty well stranded. Here's Kuttner. Kuttner past Rojek into the middle, and Keenan will collect it. Both keepers snagging across early. Paredes Saint-Ville turns around. Nice move. He's going to flip that out to Samuel Ipetim. He's got players. This is Bednarski, Steven Bednarski. That ball is blocked. No, sorry, that was not Bednarski. That's Bednarski. That was, might have been Andrew Weiner. That ball is shanked by Oscar Champenois and eventually slammed into the back. No, I'm sorry, that was not. I am getting my signals crossed here. Player that took that shot was Jack Krongold, number 24. That is going to be another corner kick as the delivery to the near post is cleared. Hoboken have been dangerous off these, but a lot of that danger has come in the form of Mike Bello. Still a couple of tall drinks of water in there. Header is over by Kobe McGregor. International surviving their first few. There is International gonna decide to go long with it. Philpott has got some dynamite in that foot. He can really get him long. Paredes. Bednarski has it taken off of him, but it's poked away. Krongold trying to move that up the line for McGregor. It'll stay there though. McGregor battling for it, doesn't have it. That ball lofted for Cam McGregor. McGregor waiting for some help to come. Tried to flip it to the run of Saint-Ville. Good defense by Aaron Ford. Ball back in quickly. Ford, another one of the stalwarts on this club. That is well over everyone. International, when they were playing in the CSL, like I said, they've had matches against Hoboken's second team. They have lost their last 2 trips to this field. Hoboken starting it quickly. 2 years ago, Hoboken 2 got a 3-2 victory in a really thrilling game here. Several of the players that are on the international team now played in that game, which was a top 2 clash. Koreman into the middle, Rojek. Rojek gonna go from distance, but it's wide. Last year when International came here, Hoboken 2 won a 1-0 victory off a goal by James Reed. Like I said, first time that they've seen the primary team. There's a bit of a miss by Bednarski. Jack Krongold, who has really come alive on the left side. Epitim. Saint-Ville cleared away, but Hoboken are still going to threaten. Throw in is headed away, but eventually Saint-Ville wins it. Another blocked cross, and that took a touch off of Korelman last. Grongold's been playing out on that left wing, on that left flank, I should say, ever since Damien Searchwell was felled by a groin strain that he's suffered here. In the 4-2 win over Richmond County a few weeks ago. Hoboken had a run of 4 straight wins stopped in midweek by New York Greek Americans, the leaders. That ball up for Kubel. Kubel just wide. Man, Sergio Kubel finds those positions so frequently. Hasn't really been able to come up with that last touch. He has scored a goal this term, but feels like even he could have even more. He is a relatively recent addition to this team. Saint-Ville, Kubel, good control off the chest. Champenois for company. Now Rojek, little bit of a hard touch there, but he rides the tackle. Kubel, looking for space. Nice 1-2 there, and there's going to be a handball on Kubel to finish that. With the exception of very briefly at the very beginning of the game, so far it's been Hoboken playing toward International. That one went straight through Atamenge. Throw just goes right to Popkowitz. Paredes takes that away from Atamenge. They're only as far as Afif. Rojek gets it out. McGregor looking to try to track that, but Ford heads it away. Here is Melvin St. Louis. Pierre-Louis, excuse me. Mel Pierre-Louis just reintegrated into this side. Flag pops up. Pierre-Louis, 2 years ago, was their main driver in attack. He's had more than 20 goals. Including one on this ground. Spent most of the season last year at other clubs, came back last week and scored a brace in a big relegation showdown against CPR. And a foul and a card coming out. 15 minutes in, we have our first yellow card. I believe that was Saad Afif. We'll get confirmation on that. Slide tackle straight through the back of Rojek. Can see why the referee would try to nip any of that in the bud. Krongold gonna send that into the box. Korelman was making an interesting run there. Popkowitz, Champigny didn't hit that well. Bednarski will claim it. Kubel. Kubel through the middle. Here's Epitim. Epitim still. That was a clean challenge there. Had to make it clean and did Aaron Ford. Pierre-Louis. Pushing, trying to push it forward. A little bit too much mustard on it. Krongold set to send it back in. Push in the scrum there, and International can try to fling this towards the box. They've got some tall fellows as well to aim for. Aaron Ford's gone up. Adamenge has some height to him. Afif headed behind by McGregor. Kobe McGregor. And referee wants to instruct defenders on the allowable amount of contact. That's bodied out of the way by Kubel. Back in, Adamenge trying to head it down. Ended up going way wide. Popkowitz. Paredes firing that up for Rojek. Rojek. Popkowitz took that off of him. Good tackle there on the recovery. Shane Keenan will have that ball. Thank you very much. Sonville. Sonville trying to get around Popkowitz, who's played some good defense. Yusuf Afif. Now Saad. Over the top of Christoph Kuttner, who was offside anyway. New York International without a shot so far. Hoboken have had a couple, neither of them on target. And that is going to be a foul as Bednarski gets knocked to the ground. And now a yellow card coming for the Hoboken bench. That was, I believe, their assistant coach. high into the air. Headed away by Popkowitz. Bednarski. Rojek. Korelman. Korelman towards McGregor, trying to get to it. Now, International trying to break, but that's, again, far too powerful a pass. Kobe McGregor. Looking to find Saint-Ville. And Saint-Ville, with a burst of pace, gets it away from Popkowitz. And that one went over McGregor. It was headed away. Rojek nearly had a shot at that. Champenois clears. And again, Atamenge could not keep it. Hoboken heading forward again. Epiateam gets clipped by Eric Anderson. Oh, no, sorry, that was... might have been Yusuf Afif. Hoboken can send this in. International playing a pretty high line. He's going to go for it at the near post. Good head. Good save to keep that from the end line, but now here's Krongold. Krongold. Kubel recovers there. Kubel headed away by Ford. He's done a very good job on the league's leading scorer up to this point. Kubel's shot is blocked. Hoboken continuing to recover and recycle. They've pinned International back for large stretches so far in this first half. McGregor shouldered off the ball. Kuttner. It was a good tackle there by Rojek. He poked it away for Paredes to clean up. Into the box. McGregor! That was Ford again, just winning that. And Kubel, he missed it. Ooh, if he had gotten good contact there. Atamenge, Kuttner. And Kobe McGregor positioning himself well. Saint-Ville moving into the middle. That was much too hard there. It was Yusuf Afif. Now Anderson. Ball floating into no man's land in the back. Korelman. That is floated over. Hoboken have been running International ragged so far. Rojek looking for Epitim, had him backtracking a little bit. Pierre-Louis gonna get it away from him. Epitim gets the deflection and gets the corner. Today's Game in Frame broadcast of the American Premier Soccer League is sponsored by the Cosmopolitan Soccer League. With 4 competitive divisions, over 90 teams, and a pathway to promotion to the APSL, there is no better option for New York City clubs looking to enter the soccer pyramid than the CSL. Epitim's going to deliver this towards the middle. It was a little bit too tall for Brian Paredes. That would have been a free header. Saint-Ville. Kobe McGregor. And Krongold trying to weave his way through a bunch of defenders, and now a foul there on Bednarski. Started quickly. Epitim stopping that. Anderson. And that is Koroman with a strong tackle on Kuttner. Just about 27 minutes on the clock. And that's a good play by Bednarski to get that throw in by Popkowitz. Saint-Ville, very adept at getting through traffic, and he does so. Here's Kubel. Epitim, another good dribbler. He gets around Maurice Vermeulen, and the cross was there for Cam McGregor. Another block behind. At this rate, with the attacking quality that Hoboken's got, if they continue like this, Gary Philpott's going to become busy sooner rather than later. More warnings about contact in the box. Philpott with a big two-fisted punch. Krongold headed away. Youssef Afif keeping it away from McGregor. Saint-Ville. That'll be a throw in here. Last couple of minutes, we've seen Hoboken able to get through the lines and get some free running going, which is not something that International will be able to sustain. Stefan Koroman there, close to a foul throw. Adamenge trying to flick it backwards. Instead it stays, and there is going to be a foul call here. That was Adamenge, who looked like he got Sergio Martinez Kubel in the face. Looked very inadvertent. And another ball in from a set piece. Hoboken have had 4 corners and at least 2 free kicks like this. Headed away by Ford again. This is a game that Hoboken have been in control of. Saint-Ville tries to flick it long. It's going to take a bounce. Too many men for McGregor to find it in turn. Kubel, another shot of his blocked. Now International are going to try to run. Kuttner looking to make a move forward, but Champenois couldn't get all the way out. Vermeulen. Ford. And now we see Hoboken's pressure, which they haven't had to really ramp up today so far. Hoboken have a good bench tonight. It's headed up. Now here. Good play by Korelman. Rojek, and McGregor was well offside. Sent in quickly by Philpott. Yusuf Afif. Kuttner. Popkowitz. Afif again. And Sebastian Rojek knocks that one away. Saint-Ville trying for McGregor. It's going to be Hoboken's ball. McGregor has not had a lot of time to really do anything with the ball at his feet today. He's been double and triple teamed every time he's come close. That ball is a nice one. Champenois. And then a foul called against McGregor. It was really good defending by Champenois, getting his body in the way without fouling. Atamenge didn't have anybody to flick it to. Keenan. McGregor. McGregor. Misfired with that pass. Back to Philpott. He blasts it forward. Kobe McGregor just going to flick it out with Atamenge on his heels. International so far have stayed organized, and they have weathered the pressure. But they'd sure like to work themselves an opportunity. They're not going to do it there, and now Epitim has room to run. Kubel looking for McGregor. Now McGregor just didn't control it the way he would have wanted. If you're looking for some more action in the APSL tonight, it'll be the team directly behind Hoboken, New York Pancyprian Freedoms. They will face Zoom Schneider at 7:30. For Zoom, every game right now is a big game, trying to stay out of the bottom 2. For Hoboken, a win would get them right on the precipice of the top 4 for the first time in their 4th season since coming up. McGregor. and immediately getting that off of Popkowitz. But Popkowitz immediately abandoned Sonville to get to McGregor and double team him. Their game plan defensively for International quite clear. Hoboken aren't rushing things. Hoboken, their first season in the APSL, barely survived. The next season, they finished in 5th. They were only 3 points off of the playoffs, and they were in it until the final day. Kubel. Champenois. And he just has to bail it out. Last year, Hoboken had such a great start. They were in 4th at the winter break, but a disastrous start to the second half of the year. They didn't win a game until late April. McGregor gets that one off of Kuttner. And the difference between this team and that one is night and day. The weakness for Hoboken last season was in attack, specifically a go-to goal scorer. Rojek in the box, low! That might have taken a touch because his target was wide open. McGregor off the chest. Sadafif takes it away. That's a good ball. Krongold gets knocked down, and that's going to be a yellow card for Maurice Vermeulen. Last year, Hoboken were really missing Ali Dawa, their top goal scorer, who went to Lansdowne Yonkers during the summer of 2025. They really struggled to replace him until Mike Bello started to get consistent minutes when he joined the team. That ball hooked towards the post, and it's deflected! And it's in! It's 1-0 to Hoboken. Kubel is getting some of the congratulations. I couldn't quite tell who Kubel flicked it. It might have gone off of an international player. It's what I will get confirmation on, just what that was, whether it was an own goal or not. Champenois, International now needing to chase the game. That pressure finally paying for Hoboken. And now they're trying to strike quick. Epiteam will let this one go. It's another corner. Kubel is going to be the one to take this. Epiteam is up with him. Epi team short. Kubel. Kubel takes the shot. McGregor was thinking about something flashy. Couldn't extend his body backwards. Adamenge. Paredes stops him. Here is Saad Afif. Anderson. Pierre-Louis, who has really been contained on that side today when he's had the ball. That time he gets around Krongold, though. Flicked backwards for Adamenge. He was trying to flick that back to Kuttner. Last touch came off of Hoboken. As the ball returned by a good Samaritan over the fence. Just about 3 minutes left in this half. International trying to respond. To that opening goal. Kicked away by Kobe McGregor. Popkowitz. Anderson trying to find somebody on the back end, but easily picked up by Shane Keenan. Referee had started counting that down. That ball popped up. Korelman might have been better served letting that fly out for a throw. Kuttner fouled. And this is another chance to throw the ball into the box for International. Deep into the back, and it's going to fly over everybody. There is some wind here. You catch sight of the corner flags, you'll see what I mean. It's kind of an ever-present constant here at Laurel Hill, right on the banks of the Hackensack River. Keenan wants Korelman. He wins it. Popkowitz wins the second ball. Korelman. Rojek into the middle for McGregor. McGregor finally with some space. He dishes it off. Woo! Philpott flying to push that away. Second shot that Rojek's really stung. Can Hoboken increase the advantage right before half? Coming in, a couple of players were close, but no one could get their body to it. Good play there by Adamenge. Trying to get it out to Pierre-Louis, but Krongold wins it first. Krongold trying to send the ball in the direction of McGregor, and that will do it. An ugly goal in the scrum is your difference at the break. Halfway home at Laurel Hill Park, Hoboken looking to take one of their final steps toward the top four. They lead 1-0. We'll be back to Laurel Hill Park for the second half after this.
From soccer fields across the USA to the legendary stadiums of Spain and Portugal, for 40 years, Petrobax has been the go-to expert for group travel to Spain and Portugal. We organize soccer group trips from start to finish, flights, hotels, transportation, and guided tours, all perfectly coordinated by our experienced team. Your trip can include attending La Liga and Portuguese Primeira Liga games, matches against local teams, pro training sessions, and even tournaments. As true experts in Spain and Portugal, we'll ensure you also experience the rich history, vibrant culture, and incredible food these countries are famous for. Celebrating 40 years of crafting unforgettable journeys to Spain and Portugal. Petrobax, your team, your passion, your trip to Spain and Portugal starts here.
My name is Austin Brummett. I'm a men's soccer player at San Diego State University and I play forward. The Salt Air Case helps block odor from my cleats when I'm driving in my car or when I'm keeping my cleats inside my house so I don't have to worry about it stinking up my room. It helps me keep track of my cleats and my shin guards so I know that they're together and I don't have to worry about tracking them down or losing them or stressing out about where they are. I would definitely rock this, walking to the games, walking around to my trainings. And it's super helpful for travel. When I travel in the airport to go to away games, it's not going to stink up my backpack or stink up the plane where I'm sitting. Magnetic strip on the top is super easy to open to take my cleats out and to put my cleats back in. I think it's an essential part of my outfit for soccer and it helps keep all my stuff organized and stink-free.
A quality highlight reel is crucial for college and pro recruitment. A lot of services offer generic solutions, but at Game & Frame we know every player is unique and needs a personalised approach to win over coaches. Our process is simple. We work with any footage, and if you need help finding your best plays, we'll review games for you. Once we've finished, you'll have a reel you can upload to any recruitment platform. We've helped hundreds of players get the attention they deserve, including placements in Division 1 programs. Scan the QR code or email us for a free consultation and start the journey to maximize your recruitment potential.
Hello everybody, welcome back. We are at Laurel Hill Park, ready for the start of the second half. It is 1-0 Hoboken. I have to make a minor correction on something I said in the first half. I had said that Cam McGregor was the league's leading scorer. That was not the case coming into the game. It had in fact been Elmadi Yusufi who had 14. Cam also now has 14. He was the one that touched that goal last and got credit for it. So his 14th goal of the season draws him level with Elmadi Yusufi in the conference Golden Boot race. Hoboken might want to be careful with him. He is not playing with a yellow card. No one is on Hoboken currently, but he's right at the suspension threshold. He's been booked 4 times this year. One more would see him miss the next game. And with only 3 left rather, including some big ones against Doxa and Lansdowne. Pierre-Louis has not had the kind of match he had last week when he got himself back into this side. International staying in the Eric Anderson triggering that back in. Here is Popkowitz backing it up to Oscar Champenois. Saint-Ville bearing down on him. And now McGregor lost that, got it back, but the pass was a little bit behind Ramshui Saint-Ville. And a foul. That was very light contact. I think Freddie Adamenge has the right to be at least a little bit upset that that run was called back. Sergio Kubel, Stephen Bednarski pushing it forward. Saint-Ville gets around Popkowitz and Saint-Ville can move. Low ball in from Korelman there. Dug out by Ford. Oh, good ball. Good ball pressure there by Epitim. Nearly got a free run off that. Did end up forcing a clearance out into the crowd. Ensa Sané has come into the game at the half, by the way, for New York International. He's playing in midfield, and Eric Anderson has dropped back into the left back spot, or the right back spot, sorry. So that's a move to cover the yellow card that was assessed to Maurice Vermeulen. One other player still playing under caution for International. That is Saad Afif. Epi team a little bit off target there. Good play by Kubel, tracking back. Pierre-Louis. Can he get something going this time? He shoots it across the face of goal. But a much better start for International here in this second half than the way the majority of the first half went. Saintville gets around, eventually gets the foul call. McGregor brings it down into the middle for Kubel. Epia team spreads it wide. Krongold. Bednarski. Rojek. And Saintville tried to bring that back to Bednarski, who does come up with it after a little bit more effort than I think Saintville intended. Krongold sends that up the wing. McGregor trying to heel that back towards Rojek. Krongold, though. Switch to Korelman. Korelman. That is a header off McGregor last. Aaron Ford's done a good job against McGregor when he's been in the box. Five minutes into this second half, Hoboken nursing this 1-0 lead. And that is headed, that would have come right at our camera position if Mel Pierre-Louis hadn't tried to keep it in play. Kubel, Epia team got tripped up. He might have already lost the ball. Anderson risking a booking of his own there, spiking it into the turf next to the referee. And he's getting a talking to from the referee. Good to see that. Good to see the ref saying something to him as opposed to immediately pulling out the cards, which is something that we have seen from some of the referees here. That is headed away by Adamenge, who was marking Rojek. Hoboken wanted a handball call there against Pierre-Louis. Here's Kuttner. And Youssef Afif couldn't get to it before Saintville. Kuttner held that a little too long, I think. Saintville trying to move forward with it. Bednarski, Korelman, McGregor around the corner looking for Rojek. High into the air, flicked on by Adamenge. Kuttner and Krongold got to that one, but he deflected it right into the path of Pierre-Louis. It's 1-1. his second straight game with a goal. He's had 3 since he returned last week. And in less than 10 minutes, they equalize, and that is how good Pierre-Louis is. He's the kind of guy that you can keep him relatively quiet, as Hoboken have done. McGregor going tumbling down off the ball. You can keep him off the ground. You can keep him close. But he gets free just once, and he's got the quality to burn you. That ball is mishandled by Champigny, and they invite some pressure there. And that ball is wasted by Popkowitz. McGregor overpowered there by Ford. Now here come International with some more wind in their sails. Saad Afif brings that out wide. Into the middle, Paredes deflects. Paredes again, that time on the shot by Sané. Into the box again, it's a corner. New York International have built up a head of steam. We'll see if Matt Farrell on the Hoboken bench decides to alter anything in the next few minutes. That is high into the box. It's over everybody. Ford thought he was impeded trying to go up. Krongold. And that did go out just before Kubel was able to get to it. Atamenge. Pierre-Louis puts that into free space, but Philpott's gonna get to that one much, much quicker. Sané. Kuttner. International really able to move toward goal with, and it's gonna be, they're going to call they're calling that back for the foul. No advantage there. After the shot was blocked. This is about the edge of what you would think of as range for a direct free kick. 4 on the wall, though. And the referee making the signal and then stopping play again. That was... Here's Kuttner! Wide! Today's Game in Frame broadcast is sponsored by Umbro. You can head into umbroteam.com to start designing your team kit for free now. Produced by Umbro, designed and worn by you. Hoboken starting it back up again. And that's a really messy pass there by Bednarski, and Kobe McGregor just getting enough off that. And this is almost the exact opposite of what we saw in the first half, with International just getting to every single second ball. Pierre-Louis is going to get pulled back by Krongold there. And Hoboken are going to have to start making some sort of change to alter this. International came from behind last week to win against CPR. Can they do it again here? Into the box, flicked header by Adamenge, but it's right at Shane Keenan. Rojek, he loses it. Adamenge, that's headed away by McGregor, and Hoboken, they're just trying to blast this ball up forward. They might be better served by slowing things down, and in fact, you wouldn't be able to hear it on this microphone, but Brian Paredes just yelled for Samuel Epitime to do just that. Saint-Ville, McGregor. Again, all sorts of defenders coming at McGregor. Korelman firing that one over the goal. And now there are going to be changes coming. At least 3. We've got Epitime, McGregor, and Saint-Ville stepping off the field. So they're going to make a change, a big set of changes up towards the front. And out come Mike Bello, Tyler Diaz, and I believe that's Ivan Garcia, but he hasn't turned around to show me his number yet. Bello, the other of the Terror Twins. Didn't start today. That was a uncharacteristically bad hit out of the goal kick by Philpott. Kobe McGregor, now the only McGregor around. Keenan brave coming out. Getting that one. Anderson. Afif. Off target, looking for Pierre-Louis. And the equipment stoppage. Referee holding Jack Krongold. There we go. Kubel somehow got that ball in the direction of the middle of the field. Mike Bello gonna press. So is Garcia. That is Garcia. Paredes. Kuttner, not for the first time pressing him today. This is a photo negative of the first half. It really is. By the way, there was one more change out there. Adam Garner has gone onto the field. He's replaced Korelman. Garner a little bit more attacking than Korelman, who was playing really in an auxiliary role out there. '64th minute. Throw in. Hoboken trying to regain this lead, trying to regain control of this match. They're just not possessing the ball enough to make any sort of a threat right now. It has been all international here in this second half. Rojek mishandles that one, and that just shows you what's been going on. Keenan. Afif loses out to Rojek on that occasion. Rojek. Kubel. Diaz. Entering a different number than usual today, going with a 3, and a collision there. And the first yellow card of the game for a Hoboken player goes to Bednarski. Yusuf Afif, who was flying and got catapulted forward by that contact. I think the only outfield change that Hoboken still have left on the bench is Mike Park. Sane is going to loft this towards the goal. It's headed up into the air by Rojek. Diaz fighting with Pierre-Louis and gets the foul. And the referee did not want that one taken quite so quickly. And again, the referee is giving a verbal warning to a player for dissent as opposed to immediately pulling out the yellow card. It's happened twice so far in this game. It's been a well-controlled game. Krongold. Back for Keenan. Paredes. Short for Bednarski, who finds Garner. Can't keep it. That was a good switch of play there. Unlucky that Garner didn't do more with it. He wins that header. Rojek. Diaz. Heavy touch. But Rojek steps in front of Afif in space. That is headed down by Bello. And Garcia slipped as he tried to take the shot. First shot in the half. For Hoboken. In the 69th minute. This game's still very much in the air. Adamenge wins the header, but Hoboken win the second ball. Here is Bello. He is a guy that you do not want to have in the box if you're New York International. What a tackle at the last second. Now Bednarski! What a shot by Bednarski! No saving that. And with 20 minutes to go, Hoboken retake the lead. Eric Anderson had made a very good tackle. Wouldn't say tackle, more clearance to get the ball away after Mike Bello crossed it in for Rojek. That would have been an easy tap in for Rojek. He got it out of the box. I don't think anybody could have expected Steven Bednarski to take a hit like that. His first goal for Hoboken this season. Krongold working to get away from Kuttner. Kubel. Now let's see if this swings the pendulum back the other way. Ford clears that out. The goal by Cam McGregor late in the first half. Now Pierre-Louis scoring his third goal in 2 games. To tie the score just 9 minutes into the second. But now Hoboken back again. Here's Garner. Ford keeps it away from Mike Bello. Rojek with the slide. Looking for Bello again. Usually see Bello and McGregor deployed as a tandem today. Like for like. And that is going to be let go. Well, Pierre-Louis wanted a foul there and might have deserved it. Looks like he might have gotten his foot stepped on. Saad Afif. Sane. Looking deep for Yusuf Afif. But well over his head. Garner sends it back in. Bello spun down by Popkowitz. Diaz tried to pass that back to Krongold, but hit it much too short. Pierre-Louis into the middle. Keenan couldn't see it, and that was a lucky play for Hoboken. Christoph Kuttner, point blank, got too much air under that one. Shane Keenan couldn't see the ball. You could see him shading his eyes there. This time of day, the sun, if it is out, is going to shine directly from behind our camera position onto the field. It is a tough sun when you are looking that way. Sane looking for Kuttner. Kubel backs it up for Kobe McGregor. Ahead but right at Sane. And Diaz a little too rough there. International chasing the game again. They have some options off the bench should they want it. Specifically, Josh Adejakun, their leading scorer. This is Saad Afif. He is going to try to put that in. Keenan with a quick throw. Garcia. Switch for Diaz. Can he run it? No, he run it down. No, he can't. And a little frustration there. Stupid fence. And good job there by Diaz. He takes a shot right at Philpott. That, I believe, is the first save Philpott has made today. Not saying that he hasn't played well today, because neither one of those goals could really have been stopped by anybody. The close range touch in the scrum by McGregor, and then Bednarski with that rocket. Here's Pierre-Louis. He's alone, but he fires it across goal. Not what you want to see if you're Hoboken, to see Mel Pierre-Louis alone in the box like that. We are going to see Jack Krongold coming off. And there is another outfield substitution that they can make. Hoboken, it's Ethan Bazan. I think he is going to be the one that is replacing Krongold. Mike Park coming on for Sergio Kubel. Bit more of a defensive presence in midfield. Keenan directing traffic. And that's a good play there by Bednarski, shielding it and making the turn. Diaz moving inside. Park, his first touch, but that is Popkowitz who steps in front of that, looking for Bello. Kuttner crashes to the ground. And the flag going up. And that is, I believe, Josh Adejakun, who just came on. It is Adejakun. Trying to see who left. International's second substitution of the game. Bello couldn't hold up. He's going to press. And Anderson could only try to hoof that upfield. Today's Game in Frame broadcast of the American Premier Soccer League is sponsored by the Cosmopolitan Soccer League. With 4 competitive divisions, over 90 teams, and a pathway to promotion to the APSL, there is no better option for New York City clubs looking to enter the soccer pyramid than the CSL. That's a good hold up there by Bello, leading Rojek through. Mike Park. Garcia over the top. Philpott starts it straight away. Coming up on 10 minutes to go. Getting a point out of this would perhaps seal survival for New York International, pending the other results. That ball right into Bello, but the flag goes up. Just a little bit offside there. A well-played pass. That one moves up. Sané, Ethan Bazan makes his first touch. That is going to be brought back for a foul much farther back into International Zone half. Afif. Kuttner. Afif. Sané. Anderson. Bazan gets in front of him. Eric Anderson, who scored on this field 2 years ago when International were playing in D2 of the Cosmopolitan Soccer League. The other goal that International scored in that match was Pierre-Louis. That gets rocked off of Popkowitz's head. In for a throw. Garner looking to get it in. Bello tries to head it. Champenois. Keenan will measure it. Chests it down. He's going to force a Dejakun to come to him. Keenan finally gets rid of it and then boots it downfield. Bello again trying to combine with Rojek there. That seems to be a partnership that they're trying to get going. Anderson. Hoboken defending here. Good stop there by Bazan. Pierre-Louis. He wanted a handball call against Bazan. I think everybody was waiting to see if it would happen. Rojek. Here is Garcia popping it up forward. Garcia. This is Diaz. Into the box. Garner, it's a corner. There was an opportunity there to put Bello clean through on goal, but Garcia wasn't able to take it. Corner done short. Garcia. Lofted in. It's Bello. He is offside. Second time that Bello has been waved offside from a promising position. But if you give him enough chances, he's going to get it right. Kuttner stepped on the ball. Diaz trying to do too much with it himself. Rojek keeps it. Mike Park making a nice run out to this near side. Park outside of the foot! And Bello trying to pounce on a miscontrolled ball by Champenois. A little bit too rushed with it. That is Hoboken's ball coming up on 5 minutes. Referee directing that this ball get put back into play. Hoboken, like I said, will not be in a rush. Rojek, not quite sure what Rojek was doing there. Garner gets that back up field. Bednarski away from Kuttner. This is Bello, and Ford got his body in the way. Maintained his position and stood his ground. And another good play that almost reached Bello. McGregor flashes that out. Remember, if Hoboken hold this lead and then Doxa drop points against Richmond County later on tonight, oh boy. Kobe McGregor completely whiffed on that one. He was lucky that there was nobody in behind him. If Doxa drop points tonight against Richmond County, should this score hold, Hoboken would clinch a spot in the top 4. For the first time in their history. And that is a long history for a club that was founded in 1912 and remains the oldest continuously run football club in the United States. Bazan got a little bit tied up in his own feet there. Ford, great play there by Bazan. Coming up on 3 minutes plus stoppages. Bazan, he's going to get a corner out of that. And again, Hoboken are in no rush. And they are going to want I don't think they are going to bother with throwing this ball into the box and inviting a counter. And Rojek saying to Diaz, get over here. No, he's gonna, and now a yellow card is out to Rojek for time wasting, and I can't blame him for that. 88th minute. Into the box it goes. It's headed off by the first man. And now some shoddy defense here. Kuttner. Garner comes from behind. Adam Garner to the rescue for Hoboken, but it's still not done. Mike Park shouldering Pierre-Louis out of the way. Park still on Pierre-Louis. Forces him to back it up. And that is going to be Hoboken's ball, and again, they are not going to be in a rush. Referee is going to add, he just indicated to the benches, he's going to add 3 minutes. Adejakun takes that one off of Park. McGregor, and there's a card here for Park. That didn't look like there was a foul. Last minute of regular time. International searching for a point that would probably ensure them safety this year. Hoboken looking to set the table for their first trip to the top 4. That's headed down and easily caught by Keenan. Garcia. Rojek. Into stoppage time now. Popkowitz skies that up the sideline. It's going to be Hoboken's ball. Popkowitz keeps that one away from Bello. And that's a good play there by Bednarski. He's the difference right now. Garcia fouled. Yellow card there, I believe, to Popkowitz. Hoboken again in no rush to put this ball back into play. Garcia. Not many in the box. Garcia's going to take it himself. What a shot by Garcia! From way outside. He puts it over everyone, and he seals it. What a free kick. Second of the year for Garcia in APSL play. That was gorgeous, and I don't think it was what anyone expected. But it makes perfect sense. Either put it on frame. You put it on frame, it's either in or it's wide, and you don't get a counterattack. And now, Hoboken have put this to bed, and they might tuck it in now. Bello over the top. He let his angle get a little too tight. Frustrated with himself. 20 seconds left of the 3 added. And Hoboken, with a couple of bangers in the second half, have taken the 3 points. It wasn't straightforward, but they have won by an identical 3-1 scoreline that they played against International in September. McGregor opening the scoring, Pierre-Louis evening it up, but then Steven Bednarski, a rocket from outside the box, and Sergio Garcia, a beautiful free kick. Give Hoboken and they are right on the cusp. If Doxa fail to win tonight against Richmond County, they will be in the playoffs. If not, they'll have the opportunity to do it head-to-head next week. The final Hoboken 3, New York International 1. We'll be right back with some of the stars of this match right after this.
From soccer fields across the USA to the legendary stadiums of Spain and Portugal, for 40 years, Petrobax has been the go-to expert for group travel to Spain and Portugal. We organize soccer group trips from start to finish, flights, hotels, transportation, and guided tours, all perfectly coordinated by our experienced team. Your trip can include attending La Liga and Portuguese Primeira Liga games, matches against local teams, pro training sessions, and even tournaments. As true experts in Spain and Portugal, we'll ensure you also experience the rich history, vibrant culture, and incredible food these countries are famous for. Celebrating 40 years of crafting unforgettable journeys to Spain and Portugal. Petrobax, your team, your passion, your trip to Spain and Portugal starts here.
My name is Austin Brummett. I'm a men's soccer player at San Diego State University and I play forward. The salt air case helps block odor from my...
Welcome back to Laurel Hill Park. We're here with Steve Bednarski, the man who decided this match between Hoboken and New York International. And Steve, this was a match that really went back and forth. The momentum swings, especially at halftime, were really you could feel them instantly. How did you guys manage to swing that back into your favor after really getting played really hard for the first 15 minutes of that second half?
Yeah, it's a good group of experienced guys, so they've been around the game for a while, and through 90 minutes there'll be swings go up and down, so it's just managing those moments and trying to keep it cool and just settling down and keep the tempo high in play.
That goal was a heck of a banger. Can you tell us what was going through your mind when you saw that start to trickle towards you? Was it just go?
Yeah, I don't score many, so whenever I can, it's always a good feeling and always good finish like that. But yeah, just happy to help the team, happy to help playing, and it's always nice to score as well.
So you are now 1 point from clinching the top four. If Doxa don't win tonight, then you guys will be in the playoffs. If not, you get to do it. You get to try to do it against them next week. Mm-hmm. What's the general feeling with the team as that milestone comes up for the first time in the club's history?
Yeah, just trying to take it game by game, not look too far down the road, and just attack it like that and keep everyone healthy, keep everyone going, and continue the momentum to the last few games of the season.
Thanks very much,
Awesome.
Stephen.
Appreciate it.
Of course, you too.
Have a good rest of the weekend.
Thank you very much for watching with us today. The final score one more time from Laurel Hill Park. Hoboken 3, New York International 1. I'm Sam Lopresti for Game and Frame. We'll see you for our next match.